ultimate fan chat with handsome Dan Park to my left, or is that to my left, and then Pretty Pete just underneath me. We'll call you four-time Pete. Four-time. All right. What's going on, guys?
Fuck all.
Not much. Not much. Just chilling. Just chilling, ISO.
Chilling, isolating.
That's good. That's good. That's what we should be doing to stop the spread, flatten the curve. Or what we could do is get into conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories. Oh my goodness.
There's some good ones out there, but I can't remember them.
Daniel Andrews selling Victoria, China. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, what was that one with the planes from China landing, and that's why he wanted people off the roads or some shit.
I have not seen that one.
From what I gathered, the Chinese are coming over to purchase our property. I think what it is. I think that's what it was.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But like we had people taking pictures. These planes are filled with cargo. Legit.
Filled with cargo?
Or yeah. Not people. It's filled with cargo.
Ah, fair enough. Did you show this to a conspiracy theorist, and did they explain?
No, I don't bother. I honestly don't bother. I have a mate who's a nurse. He's working like in the emergency in the ICUs. And he like went on to tell them like what's happening, like COVID is real and all this shit. These guys just, plug in their ears and just keep going. Mate, you went into it. You went into it. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Kris?
Oh my god.
I was like, no, Kris,
that's
no.
because, listen, they made some stupid points, and I thought, oh, this is easy to debunk. So I just made some clear comments, because they were saying how the flu transmission has gone down, and everyone's talking about COVID. I'm like, well, yeah, that just shows that our social distancing and hygiene precautions are working, because the transmission between the flu and COVID are very similar. They're a very similar premise to how they're transmitted. And they're like, oh, I bet you also believe that, I don't know, then apparently I support suicide or some shit. So they went to that from what I said. And I'm like, that's, what?
That's not what I said, yeah.
I thought we were talking about the transmission of the flu in comparison to the transmission of COVID. And then he's like, oh, you didn't answer my question about suicide. Do you support it? I'm like, whoa. What?
That's a big jump, though.
That was at Tyler.
Like, I understand the connection he's trying to make, but there's not a connection to what you're saying.
Yeah, obviously, that's a different zone of the whole situation.
Yeah.
But, I try to make a connection between, okay, if the flu's going down, that's a good sign, because it shows that we're doing the right thing. Congrats to us. Yeah. High five. But then he changed lanes. I'm like, oh god, this is not where I wanted to go. All right, I'm backing out. You can't talk to stupid. Pretty much, you can't argue with stupid people.
Have you had any run-ins, Pete, or are you like me? That's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that.
Nah, I'm not bothered by it. I'm gonna stay away as well, like you said.
Yeah, that's a smart decision. Unlike me, I'm not very smart.
Yeah, as you were going in, I'm like, no.
Yeah. I was showing you the message. I'm like, what have I done? You're like, what are you doing? You know you're being an idiot. I'm like, yes, I do, but I can't help myself. Oh god. Did you guys watch the fights from last week?
Let's take a look. Who fought?
The Derek Lewis, Oleinik, Chris Weidman. No, didn't watch any of that. Did you watch Beneil Dariush and his spinning back forearm from hell?
I saw that clip, but that's the only thing that I saw.
And Mini Gaslin got another win. Or got back on the win column. That was alright, but the coolest thing of that entire card was Beneil Dariush. Dude, that guy's got fucking hands now. Like, he had hands earlier, like when he fought Edson Barboza, he looked pretty good. But then obviously, until he ducked into a fucking flying knee, which is going to put anyone out. But his hands are looking fucking fire.
I'm sorry, God. Derek Lewis is so entertaining, but at the same time, he sucks so much. It's like,
What?
holy shit.
What?
Alexei Olenek lost that fight for him. He had him in fucking side control, decides to go for the judo head and arm, and then starts going for like a head and arm compressor.
The scaffold thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, why would you do that? I'm like, just stay on side control, you absolute tard.
Yeah, but that's his style. He's got like that very catch wrestling style where he goes for shit like that, but he gets it. He's gotten it. He caught Miko Krokop in that move.
It's just so stupid, man. He lost that fight. It was his fight to lose for me. Oh, so bad.
He also
Told
caught
you it was gonna
Anthony
happen, didn't I?
Hamilton.
Then.
Yeah, he did. I didn't realize the guy was retarded. I didn't.
Hey, but keep in mind the fight was on the ground because Lewis decided, you know what, I'm gonna take this guy down, for whatever reason. He decided to go down to the ground with Olenek. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, because Derek Lewis has terrible fight IQ, and Olenek swept him every single time. Olenek was on side control, like bottom side control,
But
swept him.
Lewis got up pretty easily as well, which is what I was saying. He's fucking great at getting back up.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a sneaky little underhook. I call it the Dan underhook because that's what you always catch me with whenever I'm on top. You get that sneaky little underhook. You get back to your knees like, motherfucker, I just got you down, and this is what you do to me. Do all this work, all this fucking work, and then you just get right back up.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts my feelings. What do you guys think of Weidman?
Didn't see it.
Didn't see
I
it.
saw it.
What do you think?
Weidman does not look like the same man. Like you say, Kris, he's not the same man. But at the same time, good on him. I thought he was pretty much done in the third round, and he just went for that takedown. If he didn't get that, he was done. If he didn't get that, he was actually done. Weidman gets destroyed.
Tell you what though, you gotta like sometimes when you listen to the cornerman and like you gotta get in there, and they give like a motivational speech. You're like, give him some real advice. But then in that fight, it worked because Weidman in that after that second round looked toast.
Yeah.
Then Longo gave him that big old speech, and then Weidman just comes out like round 2 never happened, and then wins round 3 a 10-8 round.
Because he knew that's what he needed.
It was it was good. It was crazy. But yeah, poor Weidman. He's getting called out by Vittori, and I don't want to see that fight.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Even Rockhold, I don't want to see that. I think Rockhold destroys him.
Yeah, Rockhold, he's fallen pretty hard as well, but Rockhold's his issue is that he's just chinny. It's not that he's athletically he's dropped off. So yeah.
Yana Kunitskaya pulling off. I like her new style. She's pulling off a page from who's the middleweight champion? Not middleweight champion.
Welterweight champion.
Yeah. Kamaru Usman. She's pulling off the Kamaru Usman literally against the wall. I love it.
You know who else?
That is my new
you
style.
know who else loves that?
Jeffrey.
Yes, our number 1 fan, Jeffrey. He loves that shit. What does he call it? The wall install?
The wall install, yeah. I'm gonna use that.
Man, it's effective. It is boring as fuck, but it is so effective.
That's true. It is very effective. Also, speaking of Jeffrey, he put in a comment for you, Peter. You said you were spot on in regards to the new breed.
I saw that. You guys screenshotted that to me. I saw that.
Of
course I was right.
Did you want to read the whole thing out?
Basically what he says is these days fighters just have access to more technique. Even on YouTube, there's a lot of fighters putting up techniques to be shown. So people these days, like Peter was saying, are just more skilled from the previous generation. Which is true. Like, it's not the same in boxing. Like, with boxing, you pull someone off from the 80s, and they're going to be just as good, if not better, than the top guys now. But with MMA, you pull off Tank Abbott. He's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, that's because it's a younger sport as well. It's still developing. Fuck, Tank Abbott. Oh my god, what an example. Jeez, he didn't last long.
Well, he was a contender. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I guess he was a contender. Did he win it one of those
No,
tournaments?
he never won.
I thought he won one
Oh,
because
never.
everyone else dropped out.
I don't think so.
Wow, can you imagine? I was the champion.
Like this big, scary-looking guy didn't actually win via being big and scary. Won via everyone being injured.
Oh god.
I thought. I'm probably wrong.
It's like those jiu-jitsu events. I am the Pan-Pacific champion at black belt, except there's no one in my weight class.
We know someone that did that, don't we?
Yeah.
Fuck, wait, can I say names or is that a bit harsh?
No, 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 no
I
names, no names, no
wouldn't.
names, no names.
No names?
No names.
Okay.
No names.
Then we'll say.
I
Can-
wouldn't.
I would, yeah. No
Okay.
names. Let's keep it nice.
We'll just say a person of whom was a teammate with another person at a higher belt level gave the win to said person, and then that said person went all over Facebook talking about how amazing it was to win this prestigious medal despite never competing.
I am ranked number 1.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude.
I won't say names, but I will say he has known to win matches with a calf slicer.
Also.
Hope we're talking
Alrighty.
about the same story.
Yeah, all good.
All right. Let's should we move on to this weekend, tomorrow's card?
Yes, let's do it.
Pete, are you going to be watching this?
I am. Yes, I'm ordering it on my PlayStation.
Okay.
Oh, watch it together.
Yeah, maybe we keen to watch it together.
Yeah.
I'm keen for that.
Why not?
I'm keen for that. Maybe just the main card though. Oh, but Jim Miller,
Yeah.
Felice Herring.
I won't be watching the undercard, the prelims. I'll just watch the main.
Dude,
Fair call.
my view, I'm going to put some money on this. Ashley Yoder versus Livia Renata Souza. Ashley Yoder is terrible. She legitimately sucks. At least Livia Renata Souza, she's alright. She is incredibly passive, but like she's actually has athletic ability. Even if she comes out really bad, she's still gonna win it in my view. That I'm putting some money on that. That's all I'm saying.
I have no idea who they are.
I love the honesty.
I love hearing Peter's opinions on any female fight.
No, I don't dislike female fighters. You know, I like watching Shevchenko and.
Yeah.
You like the
Yeah,
the top of the top. Anything that's
Yeah,
not like championship level.
Because they're good to watch.
Yeah, because they actually are good. They're skillful.
I'm just
Like
I'm just
Joanna
watching
and Wei Li Zhang.
yeah. I'm just watching this card for JDS and for DC and Stipe.
JDS is gonna get fucked.
I don't know.
When
we'll
was the last
see.
time you've seen JDS go take someone to the ground?
Why is he
Carwin.
gonna take?
Carwin.
Why is
That was
he
the
gonna-
last person he took down.
Why is he gonna take Jairzinho to the ground?
Because Jairzinho is an infinitely better striker.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know. He didn't look that great against Ngannou, did he?
Have you
Mate,
not seen? No. Go on.
no, I'll let you talk
No.
first.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Jairzinho is good. I'm saying that JDS now sucks a lot more than Rosenstruck. What you have is a kickboxer with little to no ground game against a guy that literally KO'd himself against Ngannou. Did you not see what he did against Ngannou? He legit went, Ngannou as well, and died.
Are you talking about JDS?
Yes, JDS sucks. If I was a heavyweight, I would knock JDS out.
Don't-
Easy.
Stop!
Look.
Stop challenging fighters, Dan. Stop it. You've
Look,
challenged
I agree.
Chase Hooper.
I agree he's lost it a bit, but he's still got the physical attributes. He's got the jab. He's got the overhand right that he throws out. He's still, reasonably quick for his size, and he's got the power. So,
You know what he doesn't have?
what?
His timing. He does not have any timing anymore. And Dan was spot on with that fucking big overhand right that he threw against Ngannou. Ngannou was nowhere near him, and he fucking threw it, put himself off balance, and he's standing, facing that way. Ngannou's right there, fucking knocks him out.
But that's because now I don't want to say that's because you're scared, but that's because you're anticipating something deadly coming back at him. Whereas I don't think he's going to be as not frightened, but some kind of word that sounds a bit nicer than that of Jairzinho.
Yeah, Jairzinho, I think he's got the more technical striking. He's still got timing. I reckon.
I don't think he's
Jairzinho's gonna fuck him
intimidated
up.
by Jairzinho. I think he's intimidated by Ngannou, but I don't think he's intimidated by Jairzinho.
If he's not, I think he should be. he's a mean dude. He lost to Ngannou, but yeah, fuck, Ngannou's he's a fucking wall of just you can hit him as hard as you want, and he's gonna just keep on coming forward unless you somehow pull out a Stipe performance. But Stipe is the only one that can do that.
I think DC beats Ngannou.
Yeah, maybe.
Takes him down. That's it.
Maybe, or maybe he gets touched and gets put to sleep. We'll never know.
Maybe DC a couple of years ago. DC now, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I've got Jairzinho all day against JDS. Yeah, I don't see JDS. Yeah, I don't see it going well at all.
I don't care as long as it ends within the 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So you can get your multi.
Who in heavyweight beats Ngannou, aside from Stipe? Derek Lewis beat him once. Who?
I reckon he beats him again.
You know what? I wouldn't mind watching that fight just because Derek Lewis will know he has no fear of the takedown. He'll just go in there and swing.
Plus,
is it his name for Ngannou?
And it would be a coin flip. I actually feel like that fight would be a coin flip.
Isn't that what people thought the first time around? Oh yeah, no takedowns. These guys are just gonna blast each other.
Yeah. Everyone thought that Ngannou was gonna smoke him. I was the only one saying that the Black Beast was gonna win. We did it on this podcast. You guys are so against it.
I think for me that's a coin flip this time, and because of the fact that Ngannou would come out aggressive this time, that would force Lewis to be aggressive, and it would be a coin flip for me.
Yeah.
What I like about the Black Beast as well is that everyone thinks he just goes out there and strikes, but he takes a lot of people down. He doesn't have like DC level wrestling by any stretch, but he does have that just explosive shot where he just fucking grabs a hold of people and muscles them down. And he mixes that well in with his strikes because I don't know, he just does it really well and he gets people down. Like he does it so unexpectedly because everyone assumes he wants to strike. And then he takes him down and he gets on top and fucking Travis Browns the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then calls out Ronda Rousey's fine ass.
That was the best. That was so good. Who do you guys think wins between Bantamweight McGregor and Chito Vera?
I've got Chico.
I've got O'Malley. Chito Vera is not that good. Like, O'Malley's not that good.
Wait, is it Cheeto? Like the chips Cheeto?
C-H-I-T-O.
Oh, Cheeto. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been calling him Chico. Chito Vera. Yeah, I've got Cheeto.
Yeah. I think Vera's going to have some success maybe with the wrestling early, but then it'll get broken down probably.
Yeah, I've got O'Malley on this. I think Vera is a much tougher matchup than Eddie. But they're basically just building him up, giving him winnable fights.
Yeah, he's not going to... Eddie Wineland's always had his chin up in the air and his hands down, so I'm not surprised that he got fucked up in that fight. It's going to be, it's not going to be as easy, but I still think he'll win. He'll break him down. He'll get it.
Excuse me. I need to use the toilet. I'll be back.
Enjoy.
Fuck yeah.
I think this
What are your thoughts, Kris?
I think it's too big of a step too soon for O'Malley. Like, I think O'Malley can be fucking great. But it's like anyone. You put him against top guys too quick. You've seen that in the past couple of UFC events. What's his name? Against Brunson. Edward Shabazian, and then that guy against Sterling.
Against
the guy that fought Sterling and got choked out. What's his name? Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, who's that again? I'm just getting up the bantamweight rankings now.
Corey Sandhagen.
Oh, is that Sandhagen?
Yeah. Like, everyone was pumping that dude's tires up huge, which I was too, but... I mean...
Well, Vera's not in the top 15, though.
Vera?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is silly, because he was on like a 6-fight win streak before he lost a very controversial fight against Song Yadong.
Ah, yeah, Song Yadong's just ahead of Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I think this is just I think this is just a step too far too soon for O'Malley, because Vera's one of those guys who can fight anywhere, and I've only seen one style of fighting from O'Malley. He always just like that distance type of striking where he's like in out in out in out. I haven't seen much else from him, so I don't know what happens if Vera grabs a hold of him, drags him to the ground, or like
if he's able to,
or even wall installs him. Yeah, if he's able to do that. Well,
but I'm looking at it. Who has Marlon Vera fought? No one really of note.
He's fought more than O'Malley. O'Malley's only had that one fight against Wineland. Other than that, who's O'Malley fought?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like they're on a more even playing field than we think.
I just feel like if I go through Vera's record, I can click on more of the names than I can on O'Malley's. As in, more people have a Wikipedia page, whereas O'Malley's only has 3 with a Wikipedia page. And then Marlon Vera has like 15. Which, I mean, you got Brian Kelleher, Brad Pickett, Frankie Sains, however you say the name. It's actual names. Vera even fought John Lineker, which I thought he potentially could have won that fight.
What is that? Huh? How long ago was that? Because I was looking back to 2018 fights.
That was 2017.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, there you go. Right.
He's actually fought some real legit dudes.
I take that back. You are correct.
So yeah, that's my thoughts. I think it's just a step too far too soon, but I could be wrong. But the problem is, you beat a guy like Marlon Vera, everyone after that's going to be a killer. No more easy fights.
Who's going to win the main event?
Whew. Woo-wee. I'll let you go. I'll let Dan go first. This one's a toughie.
I think it could go either way, but I think DC has advantage. Watching the second fight, DC is just a better athlete. I think he mixes in takedowns, but at the same time, I don't think he can sustain takedowns like Khabib 5 rounds. I think the reason why he got knocked out was, including with the body shots, he just gasses. He's a fat guy. Like, he's my height. He's legit my height. And he's a heavyweight. Like, imagine me being, 120 kilos? It's like, Miocic is an actual heavyweight. He's a big guy. He has a huge frame. So, yeah, I give it to Cormier. I think Cormier has better stand-up. I think Cormier is just all-around better. But I think he just gasses. I think he has to finish it.
Let me add to that what Dan's saying. I think the reason he gassed in the second fight, obviously the body punches, but I don't think he, in the first fight as well, and in the second fight, especially in the second fight, I don't think he thinks Stipe is as good as he is. I think he underestimates Stipe, especially in that second fight, because he knocked him out in the first round of the first fight. He thought, I can take his shots, he can't take mine, we'll just stand and hit each other till he falls again. Except that time Stipe didn't fall, and the shots started to break down DC rather than the other way around. I feel like Stipe's made the adjustments, and he should win. DC says he's going to go back to the wrestling. Outside of people who he's a lot better at wrestling than, like, I know obviously wrestling credentials-wise, he's a lot better than Stipe, but, in the fights where he's really showcased his wrestling, it's against people that were either way smaller than him, like Dan Henderson, or people that really had no wrestling background, like Derek Lewis and Alexander Gustafsson and whatnot. That being said, another variable, the fact that they're in a smaller cage, might play well into DC's hands. But I just feel like Stipe, especially if Stipe can keep DC on the end of the 1-2 and not get so dragged into the pocket with DC, I think he's going to smash him again.
Yeah, I actually agree with what you're saying a lot, especially not sticking with the pocket. Stipe, something that was frustrating me was he'd go 1-2 move, and then he'd stand there and stop, and then start trading again. And Dan DC would do his thing where he puts his hands out because he's a much better fighter in order to intercept Stipe's punches before he throws it. Yeah, it often leads to an eye poke, but I get why he's doing it from a martial arts perspective because he has a much shorter reach. So he's reaching out to the punches to stop it before it comes over. That's exactly what he's doing.
That's what I don't think he respects Stipe's power and accuracy. That's why he's comfortable doing that. Until he cops one to the body or cops a couple extra to the head and he breaks down again. I think it's going to follow pretty similar path to the second fight. I think it'll follow a pretty similar path to the second fight. I like them both. I don't really care who wins. But yeah, I think it'll follow pretty similar to the second part. I just think that looking, especially at the second fight, what adjustments are there that DC can make, and what adjustments are there that Stipe can make? I feel like the margin for change for DC is very minimal. I mean, yes, he's going to wrestle, but is he going to go in there and start off and shoot for the takedown shadow? Probably not.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, whereas Stipe knows, don't sit right in front of him trading shots in the pocket because he's heavy and he's short. Step out a bit, throw the longer shots, go to the body. You know, he's got the adjustments to make, whereas DC doesn't really, I guess.
100%. And also something that led to the end of DC was just like you were saying before. While DC is doing that, he's not respecting him. Stipe just went hook, and as DC's hands are up, going to grab Stipe's hands, Stipe just went bam to the body. So I think he's going to do that same sequence again. Whenever DC goes hook, Stipe is going to go bam. It's going to be.
I can't see the. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit cynical, but I can't see DC changing the game plan. I think he's going to get in Stipe's face and trade in close again.
Yeah, I agree with that. As you said, we haven't seen him wrestle someone for 5 rounds, and to wrestle a heavyweight for 5 rounds, it's not fucking easy. You saw Stipe try and do that to Ngannou, someone that doesn't have wrestling, and Stipe was fucking dead. He won the fight dominantly, but you saw after each round, Stipe was fucking. He needed that fucking time between rounds to recover because wrestling a heavyweight's not easy because they're so fucking strong. They can just stand back up. It's hard to hold a big guy down. So that's why you don't see Cormier wrestle as much. And he keeps on talking about how he's going to come into this fight and bring your wrestling boots. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe so you can win a round via landing a takedown at the end. But I doubt you're going to grab a hold of him and try and just ragdoll a guy like Stipe, a guy who knows how to wrestle. Like, he's obviously not on the same level, but you're not wrestling for 2-minute rounds. You have to wrestle for 5-minute rounds if you're going to do something like that. That's a big ask for anyone, even a guy that's like a former Olympian. So, yeah, I'm finding it hard to pick this fight because I've been wrong every one of these fights. Before the first fight, I'm like, Stipe's got this, no way, Stipe's got it. Stipe gets knocked out in the first round. After that, I'm like, oh, fuck. Cormier knocked him out in the first fight. He's got the wrestling. There's no way Cormier's going to lose the second fight. Cormier loses the fucking second fight after 4 rounds of winning.
Yeah.
So, I've been wrong at every step of the way because I keep on... I've been picking the winner of the previous fight, and I'm going to be doing that again. I'm picking Stipe for this fight. Simply because of the fact that I don't see Cormier... Right back to what you said. I don't see him changing the plan because he knows just as well as anyone does he can't wrestle for 5-minute rounds. That's just crazy. Like, he was gassing out against fucking Anthony Johnson. Like, he didn't gas out as bad as Anthony Johnson did, obviously, but you could see that he was like finishing by the end of that second round when he finished the fight. He was pretty fucking spent because even a guy like Anthony Johnson, it's hard to control that guy. Like, he doesn't want to be controlled. He's gonna fight back. Which goes back to fucking what DC said to John Jones years ago. He's like, I will kill you. It's like, well, you think I'm just going to stand there and let you kill me? It's like, I'm going to wrestle you. You think I'm going to stand there and let you just fucking wrestle me? I'm going to wrestle back. That is going to tire you out. So I don't think he's going to change the game plan up that much. And then back to what Dan said, he's probably going to do that hand thing again, which is going to leave his body open again. So the things that were winning him that first fight, if he changes that and puts his hands down, protects his body, now he doesn't have that rangefinder. So he's going to... I don't see... Yeah, I'm literally copying what both of you just said. Stipe can add more to his game to win this fight than DC.
Yeah.
I feel like they know what Stipe is going to do. I feel like they know he's going to go for a body. I feel like they know he's going to move around a bit more. They're going to come up with contingency plans. I'm going with DC on this. He's just a better all-around fighter.
Do you
I think he could go either way.
If DC wins, I think he has to take a page out of Kamaru Usman's book and Yana Kunitskay's.
A long story. Man, it works. I legit, my fighting style is that from now on.
Like, surely, like, I would have no idea, but I would assume that it takes less energy to wall and stall than it does to actually wrestle to get the fight to the ground.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Just push your forehead against their chin, dig for underhooks, make them fight back for their underhooks, and just keep on doing that. Just the good old underhook game.
Stomp on the foot for points. Bang.
Yep. Hey,
you're winning. You're winning.
Say what you want. Randy Couture wrote that book, and it still holds up today.
Oh god.
Another storyline coming to this fight is the whole GOAT status. Whoever wins this fight is the GOAT. Do you guys believe that, or do you like?
No.
Especially if Cormier wins, he hasn't had a long tenure at heavyweight. How do you call him the heavyweight GOAT?
No, he's not. That's clearly a marketing tactic. Also, with Stipe, he's a very beatable heavyweight. He's not someone like, Fedor or Kane that had that mystique of being unbeatable. He's not that guy. If you go by credentials, sure, Stipe defended,
Yeah. I was going to say that whoever wins this will be the most credentialed. Yeah, more so if it's Stipe, but...
Yeah, not DC though. Not DC. DC wouldn't be in the GOAT heavyweight contention.
But then you know what? Was Kane's fucking heavyweight run any longer than DC's?
No, Kane sucked. I wouldn't say Kane sucked, but Kane was hyped.
Kane sucked.
No. Okay, let me take that back. You just
went back and you were talking about his mystique and all that, and in terms of talking about the greatest heavyweights.
Yeah, that's why they were hyping up Kane to be the GOAT because Fedor was there. It was a marketing tactic. It wasn't that Kane actually was the greatest of all time, or he actually was this kind of amazing guy. They were just all hyping it up so that he's better than Fedor. Because at that time, it's undisputed that Fedor is the GOAT at the heavyweight level. So that's why. Kane was never as good as they made him out to be.
See, I don't know if I believe that. As in, he was never as good as they made him out to be. I just don't think he ever had the chance to prove that he was that good. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I just don't think he had the chance to prove it because he kept on getting injured.
Yeah,
his injuries held him back. But unfortunately, you can't give someone a GOAT status based on potential. They have to prove that potential.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I felt. I felt like they were giving him the GOAT status based on his potential.
Yeah, that's exactly what they've done. Which Stipe, he never showed any potential, but man, is he fucking... As you were saying, credentials, Jesus.
I would say Stipe is already the UFC heavyweight GOAT.
Yeah, I agree with that. Based on credentials, I agree with that.
I thought he was that after the Ngannou fight.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but all I'm saying, skill-wise, Stipe doesn't have that mystique. He's not this world beater. You know what I mean?
He doesn't, but he's got the names and the results. Look at his.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
I'll go over it now. Let's say, from Roy Nelson, will count that. Why not?
Roy Nelson was good at that point.
Knocked out Mark Hunt. Knocked out Arlovsky. Knocked out Fabricio Verdum. Knocked out Alistair Overeem. Knocked out JDS. Won every round against Francis Ngannou. Knocked out Daniel Cormier. Pretty fucking good.
He didn't knock out Mark Hunt. He just he just murdered Mark
Oh,
Hunt. Like, to the point where they're like, all right, he's not going to do anything. Let's stop the fight.
Because look, especially this run, right? Beat the shit out of Mark Hunt for 5 rounds. Knocked out Arlovsky in 54 seconds. Knocked out Verdum in under 3 minutes. Knocked out Overeem in the first round. Knocked out JDS in under 3 minutes. Won every round against Ngannou, and then came back from being down against DC and knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
Which,
I don't
like,
disagree with that.
Dan, you're talking about his whole mystique. It's kind of weird that a guy like this, with a record like this, doesn't have a mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Because
reason that's
he's
why-
gone through a murderer's row, but don't get me wrong, those guys have been at the end of their career when he's beat them. But that's the only thing that holds him back. But he's still knocked all these guys out, because those guys have only gotten to that spot because they've beaten other guys.
Yeah.
But like you said, on the tail end of the careers, JDS is not JDS on his prime. Mark Hunt's not Mark Hunt on his prime. Astro Overeem is, and go on and go on and go on.
Where would you say
Stipe
Mark
Miocic-
Hunt was in his prime? What fight would you say was his prime? Because he still fought the
That's
same.
a really tough one. That's a really tough one with Mark Hunt.
Because
That's a really tough one.
when he lost to Stipe, he was still the same Mark Hunt that was knocking out other guys.
Mhm.
Exactly. Like, all right, by that same token, who did Fedor beat? He beat a prime Krokop, a prime Nogueira, and Randleman.
Tim Sylvia, I guess, if you want to give him that. I know no one likes Tim Sylvia.
Arlovsky.
That Orlovsky one, Orlovsky was fucking teeing him
Yeah.
up, and then Orlovsky jumped into a fucking right hand. He flying kneed himself into a right hand.
I just think I'm not saying one or the other. I just think there is definitely room for debate. It's not locked down that Fedor is it.
See, I feel like Andrei Orlovsky is a guy that could have been up there if he didn't make such dumb choices throughout his career.
Because you know what? They talk, yes, he was undefeated for fucking 30 fights, right? But Mikhail Apostolov, Kerry Shaw, Renato Sobral, who was a light heavyweight, Semi Schilt, who was a kickboxer, Heath Herring, Edgigis Valvikas. Like,
Heath Herring was good back in his prime.
Naoya Ogawa.
Good.
Right,
He was
enough.
good. We won't go any further than good.
Tsuyoshi Kakasi, Zuluzinho, who was 350 pounds but couldn't fight. Matt Leland, who I'm pretty sure fought at middleweight.
I remember that.
Hongman Choi. Like, Stipe would go fucking 30-0 against these guys as well.
Yeah, the question is prime Mark Hunt, prime Krokop versus Stipe. Krokop would KO him. Krokop is the much better fighter.
But which level of Krokop do you call prime? Because you can say prime when he first came in, but he didn't have wrestling back then. So you're sure in a kickboxing fight he would beat Stipe, but Stipe would take him down and fucking do what he did to Mark Hunt.
No, Mark. I know. What's his name? Krokop built great takedown defense later on.
He built
He
good.
really did.
He built good takedown defense, but what wrestlers did he fight?
Mark Coleman.
Oh, yeah, but Mark
Coleman was still in his prime back then.
At that point in time, Coleman was getting knocked down and armbarred by a lot of
He
people.
fought Kevin Randleman and Randleman knocked him out.
Ah, yes.
That's true. That was a massive upset.
Sorry, I'm trying to find Krokop here.
I don't know, man.
Anyways,
Yeah.
going back into what we were talking about, I don't disagree that Stipe Miocic is a UFC GOAT heavyweight. He's the most credentialed, but at the same time, he's not this incredibly good fighter. He isn't.
Of course he is.
He's not. No.
What?
He
You
isn't.
can't even give him a title of incredibly good. Not even saying great.
No.
You can't say he's incredibly good.
No, Stipe Miocic is very beatable. Very beatable. It's just that the people he fought, like JDS, suck.
Okay, so what other heavyweight would you say at this point in time, or at the point in time that he's beat these other guys, could have beaten him? Because no one else has put themselves in that spot.
No, that's what I'm saying. Heavyweights nowadays suck. DC
So
is
you're saying if we could put a lightweight against him, they would beat him.
Daniel Cormier is a
So
lot.
hold on. You think if you chucked Stipe in the Pride ring, prime Stipe, let's say from maybe 2 years ago, if you chucked him into Pride, he wouldn't beat Nogueira, and he would beat the shit out of Nogueira. He would have fucking brutalized him.
He would have hurt Nogueira.
Yeah, I don't really rate Nogueira that highly.
He would have hurt Nogueira.
All right, Dan, who do you rate at heavyweight?
At heavyweight, who do I rate? Fedor.
You can't say you rate Fedor because we've just gone through his record.
Fedor, I rate Mirko. I rate Fabricio Verdum.
Fedor almost got knocked out by freaking Fujita.
He chinned fucking Verdum in 2 minutes.
But that's...
Don't tell me that wasn't prime Verdum. Verdum came off the biggest win of his career, or second biggest win of his career, just before that.
Mate, nah, that was not prime Verdum. That was not prime Verdum.
Okay, so what's prime Verdum?
Prime Verdum. Let us take a look.
Right, he just choked out Cain Velasquez.
Dan,
That was his second best win.
Like Dan, this is like having a conversation with a conspiracy theorist. Like, we're giving you straight up, information to go on. You're like, nah, just nah.
I'm going based off skill. Absolute skill.
Well, you gotta base it off the results of said skill.
Hey, Verdum was 9-1 coming into that fight with Stipe, including wins against Bigfoot Silva, Fedor, Roy Nelson, Big Nog, Travis Brown, Mark Hunt. Then he choked out Cain Velasquez.
Actually, I take that back. Verdum was probably good then. He just, how can I say it? He was just an idiot and just rushed him.
Oh my
God. Verdum lost that fight. It was Verdum's fight to lose. Anyways, I'm sticking to that. Stipe is not that good. He really isn't. He's not someone who will go down like, that's this incredible, how can I say this? He doesn't have an incredible skill set. He's very well-rounded. He's not an amazing fighter. He really isn't. That's my view. That's my view.
Like, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to say. It's just incorrect.
That's my view. We can agree to disagree.
I'm trying to find a way to respond to that, but you haven't given much to go off apart from just pure opinion with minor evidence.
That's exactly it. I look at Stipe fight, I look at his skill set, and I go, he's actually not that good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He's not outstanding at any one thing, but he puts it all together well, which is the name of the game, which has led him to knocking out almost everyone.
I agree. He puts it well together. I
think he's deceptively good. He doesn't look like he doesn't have an imposing physique. He doesn't have an imposing style. But he gets the job done with what he's got.
He nearly lost to JDS. To the shell of JDS. Yeah.
Oh, because of that leg kick.
Yeah.
He didn't nearly lose to JDS. Get the fuck out of here. He did not.
If he didn't get that knockout.
He got kicked. He was like, fuck, that hurts. I'm going to go fuck this cunt up. And he knocked him out. Dude,
he was limping out. That's why he had to do it. That's why he went in. He was like, I need to finish it quickly. And that's smart of him. That's
exactly. He had the ability. He got hurt and he goes, fuck, that really hurts my leg. I'm going to fucking bash this cunt. So he went over there and he put a beating on him. Exactly.
Wait, can I just stop for it? This reminds me of when Vitor Belfort beat Randy Couture in their second fight. But he beat him because he threw a big punch. But Randy Couture moved out of the way and the glove scratched his fucking eye, opened up his eyelid, and they're like, okay, we'll call it. Vitor wins. And then obviously everyone's like, oh, that's bullshit. But then Vitor came back saying, oh, but if that punch landed, I would have knocked him out. But it didn't land. You can go back and say, if
JDS kicked him one more time, he didn't.
But he didn't. He didn't. What he did is back up, put his back against the cage, and get knocked the fuck out as he always does. So you can say he shoulda, coulda, woulda, but he didn't.
You guys are missing my point. My point is JDS sucks. That's my point. My point is JDS sucks, and Stipe is such a not amazing fighter that he nearly lost to that version of JDS. That's my point. That version of JDS was competitive with a prime Stipe. That's my point.
The fight went for 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
He kicked him in the leg, and it hurt, and he's like, all right, this is done now. The fight, it's not like he was back and forth for 3 or 4 rounds. He was finished in 2 minutes. like obviously in a fight, someone's gonna have some success.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna leave unscathed. He got kicked in the leg. He was like, "Fuck, that hurts. Time to switch his guy's lights off." Like, yes, understand he got hurt, but the fight went for 2 minutes.
Up until that point, JDS was winning. So it was competitive by that nature. By the definition, it 100% is competitive. All right, we are going way off track into the rabbit hole. My point still stands. My view still stands, which is Stipe is not this world beater.
I'm getting that fight up to watch it on my laptop.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? I might do the same thing.
Let me commentate. Hey, I'll commentate it to you guys. Ready?
No, that is bias. That is bias. That is bias commentating.
No. I'll call it down the line.
Wait for me to get it up too. I want to watch it.
Yeah, let me go take a piss. I'll be back.
All right, Kris.
1 sec.
Kris.
Yep.
I've paused it at 5 minutes 30.
Are you on Fight Pass?
No, sorry, I'm just on YouTube.
Oh, it's up on YouTube.
I just YouTubed it. Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll jump on YouTube.
So it's the first one. Just type in Miocic vs JDS, and it says Miocic vs JDS full fight UFC 211.
All right.
And it's a 12-minute video, and I've paused it at 5:30.
So you said it's the first one.
Title Stipe Miocic versus Junior Dos Santos full fight UFC 211.
I'm back.
Okay,
Do you
so
guys honestly believe that Stipe is this amazing fighter that if they gathered all the fighters in the world throughout time, Stipe would reign top at the heavyweight division?
He'd be up there, most definitely.
all right, what time do you have?
Again, like Kris was saying,
5:30.
Our sport is young, and they are going to be heavyweights in the future that outstrip these Stipe easily.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. We're on.
Okay. JDS is standing there in his little, the way he stands there.
Wiggling his gloves. All right,
Yeah,
you're on.
I think JDS sucks. So
Dan, I'll let you know what's happening. They're in the middle. They're standing in front of each other. 10 seconds has passed. Stipe leg kick. They're just looking at each other, sizing each other up. JDS throws a leg kick.
Inside leg kick that hit
Jabs
the knee.
in the body. Miocic has got the center.
Yeah, Miocic doesn't give up any space, does he?
No, they're missing some shots. They're both missing shots. Stipe.
So is this not competitive? For what you're saying, is this not competitive?
I've just paused it for a second. Well, it's 30 seconds in, bro, and they've tapped each other twice. JDS just threw one leg kick.
So it is competitive.
What do you call competitive? Because JDS is backing up the
They're
entire
competing.
fight.
JDS is backing up, back against the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Miocic hits him with the right hand.
Oh, wait, have you started up again?
Yep, they're back again.
Oh, shit.
Now, JDS landed a heavy leg kick. Miocic misses some shots. That's 1 minute of the fight. So we're halfway through the fight. Miocic checks a leg kick, lands a couple of right hands. They clinch up. Miocic hits him again, takes the center of the cage again.
I'm watching it.
I think Kris, would you agree Miocic is winning so far?
I would say so. I mean, apart from a leg kick, JDS didn't land shit.
Again. Miocic takes the center again. JDS lands a jab to the body. Miocic lands a leg kick. JDS backing up. A minute and a half through. Miocic lands a right hand. Lands a left hand. JDS backs away. Miocic takes the center again. JDS lands a heavy leg kick. Miocic follows him. He's limping a bit.
Yeah, I tell you what, that leg kick did hurt him bad. But
he hurt him.
Even on one leg, he was beating the fuck out of JDS.
So we're 2 minutes in. Miocic lands a right hand. JDS is wobbling. Stipe is backing him up. JDS is back against the cage. Stipe hits him with a right hand. JDS stumbles a bit. Hits him with another right hand. Another one. JDS is on the ground, and it's over. Fuck, that was ultra competitive, Dan. He landed 2 kicks.
I'm not saying. Wait, hang on. I'm not saying it's ultra competitive. I say it was competitive. JDS, like Kris said, hurt Stipe on the leg. What a not competitive fight looks like is like Khabib Barboza. That's domination. It's not competitive at all. It's
wait,
completely one-sided.
wait, stop. Would you call Khabib and Dustin Poirier competitive?
No.
But Dustin Poirier almost landed a choke.
No, he didn't.
And it went 4 rounds.
Yeah.
No,
but Dustin Poirier had him in trouble with that choke for one portion of the fight. A longer portion than one leg kick.
No, they were landing on each other. JDS was landing to the body. They were going back and forth. Yes, Stipe was pushing across, but it wasn't a complete domination.
Dan, watch the fight, bro. Watch the fight again.
I think it's safe to say with Stipe, unless you put him out, like he's going to be coming at you and he's going to find a way to win. You have to put him out.
You have to.
Because you can hurt him. No one's saying that he can't be hurt. He can be hurt, but so could
watch the fight with
so could Emelianenko.
Watch the fight with Overeem, where Overeem made him hurt, and he got up and he bounced his head off the ground like a basketball.
He's taking a piss. That's what he thinks of your opinion, Dan.
Wow.
He's laid your opinion down on the floor and he's taking a tinkle on it.
Wow.
Mate, it sounds like you're at the beach. Mate, look where you're pissing. Don't look at the roof. You're gonna have cleanup.
I'll tell you what. Fucking, what's his face? What's his fucking name? I'm fucking blank now.
Fido? Who are you talking about?
Our fan, Jeffrey.
Oh, you forgot about Jeffrey, bro. Don't worry, we will never forget about you. Pete, maybe.
Jeffrey, I'm sorry. I had your face in my head, and I was like, "What the fuck is his name?"
I'm sure that'll make him happy, knowing that his face was in your head.
You will. He's got one, and I'm pretty sure. I would like to know his opinion on how competitive JDS and Stipe 2 was. Mind you, when JDS was in his prime and they had their first fight, I thought Stipe won that.
Yeah, so did I. I was happy JDS got the win, though.
Alright. Let's move.
Do you agree with us, Dan?
About what?
That Stipe's the GOAT?
For the UFC, yeah. According to commercials, I agree with that. But if you look at going forward from the future and past, if they were to make the top 10 skill sets in terms of heavyweight fighters, Stipe would not be on there, especially with the future in mind.
All right, hold on. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Stipe fought in a time where guys are a bit more well-rounded, right?
Yeah.
Fedor, who was probably the most well-rounded of his era, was seconds away from losing to Kevin Randleman, who was a wrestler and pretty much a one-dimensional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So how can he be the greatest if he came so close to getting his neck broken by a one-dimensional guy?
Hang on, we're talking about credentials, right?
Well,
what I'm saying is,
I want to one up Peter on this one.
Go
on. You who are you using as a name? Using Randleman.
Yeah.
I would put Randleman above Fujita. And Fujita almost knocked Emelianenko out cold. Like Emelianenko was on Dream Street in that fight. And Fujita's he's like, even at that point in time in heavyweights, he wouldn't have even been on the top 15 list. Yet, someone like Stipe got hurt for a microsecond in a fight against JDS. I'd put JDS miles above Fujita, even now.
Hang on, I'm not understanding what you're trying to say there.
Because your point of contention about Stipe, right? I was talking about Stipe's credentials, and you said everyone he fought was at the end of their career, and you go, a crappy JDS had him in trouble, and it was like a close fight, you were saying, until the stoppage. And then we're using examples from Fedor's record to show that, well, Fedor was in similar situations with guys who are much less valued than JDS at any point in his career.
Okay, then we went off track. All I'm trying to say is, looking at Stipe's skill set, looking at him as a fighter, how good he is. He's not that good. That's all I'm trying to say. He's actually not that good. Yeah, he's well-rounded and everything. He is not an amazing fighter. Especially with the future coming in mind.
I think where we're differing is the use of our language here. When you mean he's not an amazing fighter, I've taken that as to mean in general. I think what you're saying is just purely in terms of skills, kickboxing, wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu, you're saying he's not great at anything, right?
Well, all I'm saying is...
But he's a great fighter, obviously, because he fucked all these people up.
Yeah,
he's a great fighter if you can't win these fights.
But he's a great fighter. He's good, but he's not this amazing fighter. He's not like fucking... How can you say?
Use a heavyweight example.
I can't. People at heavyweight suck.
So then he's the best. It's the question's
I'm not disagreeing with that. Currently, sure, he's the best. I don't disagree with that. All I'm trying to say is, he sucks. He's not that good.
Dude, you got to choose better terminology, because like saying that he sucks, like he doesn't. You can't say that he sucks because he's proven time and time again that he doesn't suck. You can say that he doesn't look that great. Maybe his style he looks a little bit stiff. You could say he's overrated. We could disagree, but that's a better use of words than saying that he sucks, because he clearly doesn't suck.
Like, what I'm trying to say is, okay, if you were to shrink down Stipe to, like, let's say welterweight, he wouldn't be champ. If you were to, what do you call it?
None of them would. No heavyweight would be.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not talking about GOAT in general in terms of all weight divisions. We're talking about heavyweight GOAT.
So what I'm trying to say is, Stipe is not relative to heavyweights in his era and blah blah blah. Sure, he's great. What I'm trying to say is, he's actually not that good. Like, in terms of skill set, for his size, he's good. But in the future, as more people come in and they're going to be much more talented, he's not going to be in the top 10 in terms of skill set, in terms of skill, in terms of ability. He's definitely not. It's because right now, heavyweight sucks. In the future, it's going to be so much better. Stipe is not that good of a fighter. He's good for his era.
Or any era previous.
Yeah, of course. In Pride, he'd be great. But heavyweight generally has sucked.
So technically, no heavyweight can be the greatest, because technically they all kind of suck.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about who's the greatest or not. All I'm saying is, how good is Stipe? He's not that good. Let's move on, dude. The more time passes, the more I'm clowning myself.
It's so weird. It's such a weird conversation to have.
Let's move on.
Would you say... Wait, this is a question for you, Pete. Alright, question for you as well, if you want, Dan, but you don't like his skill set, so... Do you reckon Stipe wins his fight simply because he can't be... Like, mentally can't be derailed? Like... He can get hurt, he can get dropped, he can be losing a fight for 4 rounds, but every round he comes in the same. He doesn't come in like looking tired. He's got great conditioning. He manages his use of energy really, really well.
Well, if you look at you look at his losses, he lost to Stefan Struve by that amazing fucking Superman punch. That was crazy.
He was winning that fight against Stefan Struve, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then he lost to JDS, which I thought he won, and then he got knocked out by DC. So pretty much like you're saying, it's very, very difficult and probably unlikely to beat him unless you stop him. And I think like you're saying, he's very mentally strong. I think he could be losing 4 rounds to 0, and he could have lost 4, 10, 8 rounds, and I think he would still come out looking for the knockout in round 5.
And he doesn't come out super aggressive either. He always comes out pretty smart. Like even against Cormier, like he was clearly losing that fight.
And I wouldn't mind him sitting down a bit heavier on his shots against DC, because DC would just stand there and trade with him. Because I don't think DC respects him or his abilities, like Dan sort of going on about.
Stipe has like sneaky good power as well though, because like he doesn't like throw these big haymakers like Ngannou or JDS.
He's clean. He's very clean
Yeah.
with his punching.
Like whatever he throws, he just makes sure it lands, and eventually something's gonna land strong enough to put someone down.
Yeah.
Which I think that's smart. I think that's intelligent. And it's boxing, isn't it? As opposed to JDS being the best boxer of the UFC and the UFC heavyweight division, but he just throws a jab and haymakers.
The worst thing that ever happened to fucking JDS's career was knocking out Kane in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Because after that, he just did that. He just stood there, jab, overhand, and that was it. That's all he fucking did for the rest of his career.
Yes, true.
You know, he knocked out fucking Kane, and then he beat up Mia, who fucking any of those heavyweights could have beat up Mia. And then all of a sudden, he's the best boxer, and he didn't add anything. He didn't do anything. Just fucking the one and then the overhand. That's it.
He landed a spinning heel kick to Mark Hunt somehow. That came out of nowhere. Never threw it in any previous fight, and then he lands it.
Crazy. All right, is that a wrap, boys?
Unless there's anything else you cats feels the need to talk about.
That's it.
I feel like John Dodson.
Oh yeah, we never spoke about John Dodson, did we? And he's the guy he's fighting, Merab Dvalishvili.
Merab Dvalishvili is good. He sets up his takedowns very well. Goes 1-2 takedown, goes takedown, kick takedown. Beautiful, I love it. Only problem is John Dodson is a good wrestler. He's a lot shorter. John Dodson has a much lower center of gravity, so it's going to be a lot harder to take down Johnson. And Merab really is very awkward striking. He's not that good at striking, but he uses striking instead of his takedowns, which is beautiful. I think John Dodson has a lot better chance of winning than a 3-1 underdog. So we'll see how it goes. He's very undersized for the division. And you guys would know, going up against a very much shorter guy, trying to get onto his knees by shooting a double, it's a lot harder than when you're shooting for someone who's taller than you and has a high center of gravity.
Is that his main takedowns? It's always doubles, singles, attacking the legs. He doesn't have like a clinch game.
No, he sets it up by going whoop bang, whoop bang. It's actually really good. He's very impressive. But again, John Dodson, just lower center of gravity, being undersized is actually an asset.
So what's that? Is that like an American college style wrestling? What do they call that? What's because there's different styles of wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, there's freestyle, which we do. There's catch wrestling, which we do. And there's also Greco-Roman, which is upper body only, which is like judo.
So what style would his be?
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
Everything goes. There's also folk style, but I don't know what that means. I've heard that.
Yeah, that's what's his name? Yeah. I don't know anything about that. That should be a fun fight. I'm actually excited to see Herbert Burns fight again.
There you go. See it right there. Freestyle wrestling, catch wrestling.
Greco-Roman. It's the way to go.
All right. Sorry, you were saying you're excited for who?
Gilbert Burns. I like him.
Oh.
He's fun, man. He goes out there and he either fucking somehow gets a cool knockout or a really.
You mean the other Burns? I think it's his brother, not Gilbert Burns.
Sorry?
Hubert Burns. Hubert Burns.
Herbert.
Yeah, it's not Gilbert Burns.
No, I know it's not Gilbert Burns. I know it's Herbert. I've seen Herbert Burns fight a couple of times.
Sorry, I thought you said Gilbert, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said Gilbert Burns.
Did I? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Sorry. I'm like reading it in front of me and I say Gilbert still. No, I'm excited for Herbert. Herbert. That's a funny name, isn't it? Herbert. Sounds
Herbert and Gilbert.
Yeah.
Was there anything else we want to say? We had a heated podcast, heated debate, and one of the very
We got Jim Miller coming back after not that long of a break, so that's all right. He's got, I think, the most wins in the UFC now, doesn't he? No, the most fights. He's got the most fights. He's got the most something. He fights a lot. And Felice Herring, she's coming back after like a 2-year break.
Oh yeah.
That should be alright. Maybe. Who's she fighting?
Dude, I am 2 centimeters taller than DC. DC is so undersized for the division.
So you could have gone out there and beat the most overrated heavyweight of all time.
Dude, I need to get on the GSP cycle, put on some roids.
Alright, fuck you. That's time to call it. Alright, we're done.
All right, Dan. Before we call it, you want to say anything?
I would like to say thank you to you, Kris, to you, Peter. Had a very, very fun podcast. One of the rare times we go against each other. And what else? I want to say thank you to Team Takedown, Scammer Gym, and Aussie Pet Doors for all your pet door needs. AussiePetDoors.com.au. Anything else?
Peter?
And jump onto Instagram. Check out also Chef Kris' Instagram.
That's true.
Yes. Thank you for the plug. I'll just say thanks the two of you because it's always fun. Hopefully we can jump on next week, and I'm sure there's fights on next week, isn't there? There's fights on every week, so we'll jump on, talk a bit more shit. It's always fun. Also, Jeffrey, thanks for watching because you somehow make it to the end of all these videos. You're an absolute champ. Ryan, if you jump on, you're a number 2 fan. You got to work for that number 2 spot. So you don't have to. You're our only number 2. So, yeah, hopefully he makes it to the end. If you like watching, like, share, subscribe. If you don't like watching, dislike, but still share and subscribe. And leave comments, and we'll respond. All right. That's all I got. Peace out,
Thanks,
embrace.
gentlemen.